friends, my fabulous friends. How are you guys today? I am working on a table. I told you guys I was going to go live and paint this table with you, but I had like this much paint left and I did not know for sure if I'd be able to get the whole thing painted, and I just decided I better just do it. And you guys know how to paint anyway. I showed you about cleaning, I've shown you about priming, and so yes, the chair is in there, it's ready to go, but I went ahead and painted the table last night, so it had all night to dry and do its thing. Good morning, hey Kelly, hi. Hey, so anyway, I have this table all ready to roll. Now, what I'm going to do is show you, so this is painted with our Country Chic chalk-based paint, and the lady wanted it very distressed. So the top part was green, the bottom part was like a creamy yellowy color. And so she wanted it all an ivory sort of color, so I chose Country Chic's chalk paint called Cheesecake. And Cheesecake is just a very creamy color. If it's too creamy, we have one called Vanilla Frosting, which is a little more white, and then we have Simplicity, which is white. So this is a very, I would call this ivory creamy, very much like Cheesecake, which is the name of it. So I've got it all painted. Came down this morning and the top had peeled in two places. It had curled and peeled, and I mean, I cleaned with TSP, then I used Dawn dish soap and water, and I mean, I really cleaned the heck out of this piece. And so I was shocked to see that. I did not prime it, but I was shocked to see it curled. Now, had that happened to a table that was not going to be highly distressed, I would have had to come back, peel off the peeling, mud it, sand it, prime it like you would on your walls to smooth it out. But because I knew she wanted it really highly distressed, I left it. But I started tearing after it with my putty knife. So I'm just kind of setting up the scenario here. So I want to show you guys, well, I'll show you, let me see here if I can, yeah. So I was really digging at it and really working on it, and then I thought I wanted to do it with you guys. So I was just really kind of playing. So I'm going to show you where I haven't done anything yet, okay? And this is not even nearly ready, but I'm also going to wax and glaze it. So I'm just kind of going to hang around and do a little bit of fun stuff today. So let me switch you over here where you can see, and I want to show you the difference of a couple of different ways to distress your furniture. So, all right, so one thing that I tell people, and I'm gonna have to redo some of this when my paint order comes in, because I want to show you what happens. So I'm gonna sand right here on this edge. All right, I'm just gonna sand it back, knowing that there's green underneath here. Okay, so it's gonna take me a minute to get through to the green. There, I see it. Now, you know what? I may not have to repaint that. I'm not sure you guys can see the green. I'm going to get as close as I can. I have a great big light right here behind trying to help you guys see. But so see how you can see, I mean, hopefully you can see that. There's just a little bit of green showing. And so that might be okay with her, actually. She wants it very distressed. The green is a neutral and it's barely showing. But the idea of chalk-based paints is so that it distresses like this really easily. Okay, that's kind of the whole idea of any chalk-based paint, is the idea that it's very easy to manipulate. Now, if I sand really hard, I can break through the green that was painted previously and get to the really dark color of this original color of this table. Now, another way, so you can see I'm kind of working, whoops, I just dropped it. So you're kind of working and really, I don't know, working with that sanding block to get it to where you want it. I want to show you what happens with a wet rag and how easy it is. And it's made to do this, but I just have a really wet rag here. So I'm just wiping off the paint. Okay, so hopefully you can see that coming off. Let me do it just in the middle of an area here. Now this part was not green, so there, I don't know if the lighting is the worst part for me. So I'm scrubbing through, I just scrubbed through mine. Now I'm scrubbing through the paint that was previously on there if I can. I'm not sure if they've sealed it or waxed it or whatever, but oh yeah, there we go. We got a little breakthrough, okay? And so this is what gives you your distressing. There, see that? So that if I keep going, I can make it as distressed as I want. You see that? But I'm also taking the cream off and exposing the yellowish color that the previous painter had done. This table belonged to my client's mother, and she doesn't want it as green and as, her colors are gray and cream, so she wants it more like the colors of her house. So you just take a wet rag and you wash it until it breaks down. And that is how that works. See that? Can you see that? Right here where I was scrubbing. So I have a very wet rag. And then I'm just scrubbing with my finger like that. See that? So that's the difference in a rag. Now let me see if I can sand a spot here. So with the sanding, you have the sanding dust to deal with. Plus, on the lighter colors, this doesn't happen so much, but on a darker color, what it will do is leave a shadow around the outside of it, a really dry sort of shadow, and you can wax over it and try to diminish that, but when you use a wet rag, you don't get that dryness. So yeah, I'm still going, and I haven't broke through it yet. So it's just a lot more work with the sanding block as opposed to a wet rag. There you go. You see that? So there you go. But I feel like I'm not sure the client's gonna like the yellow, so I'll take a close-up picture of it, and I may have to paint back over. So what happens if you guys take off too much, let's say, like this is fun, it's really fun to do, and let's say that you do too much. Like I know I won't because she really wanted it distressed, so I was just gonna distress it with wax, but I thought this will really add some depth for her, and I think that's what she's wanting. So you can do it really softly like this and leave the paint to show through if you can tell, or you can really get in there and take it off and make it go far, okay? So that's the idea, Usually you just do the edges and stuff, but by using this wet rag, it's still very smooth. It's perfectly smooth. It just graduates down to that. So if I send her a picture of this and she says, oh man, that's way too much, or I don't like this yellowish color showing, because she may not like that, in which case I won't be able to wash it back or sand it back because I'm exposing that yellow. So I'm trying to get rid of like the 3 spots. So anyway, let's go on. Let's keep on going. But I really like doing it with the rag. The wetter the rag, the easier the sanding is. Okay. But I really think when you guys are doing your own furniture, like see, okay, so you can see that for sure. All right, so here's another thing. Let's say your colors are navy blue and white or cream or whatever. You want a little bit of navy blue on there. If you would put the navy blue over top, gently, even dry brushing, it would be a lot harsher. It would be a lot stronger of navy. If you just really want that subtle, like this green is really subtle, then you would do navy first, then you paint it with your white, and then you wash off the white. So I'm rubbing hard to break through, but once I get down to that green, I'm being very gentle, okay, because I don't want to rub the green off, but I really do. But I'm just saying, if you didn't want to, that's how you can get two-tone, and it looks really aged and worn because it's underneath that original color, and so it's not on top, and then you don't have to worry about doing your dry brushing too heavy or being, you know, way more blue than you want and then layering back on the next color. You know, if I were to put this green on top, I could put the green on, and if I get it too heavy, then I could go back with the cream color and tone it down, and it's just back and forth layering, which is very nice, and that's how you can soften it out, but it's a lot more work than this, okay? So let me keep on going here. So I love distressing like the edges, like this right here and this up here, but I do need to break that on through and get rid of that green because I know that she's gonna have a little bit of green showing, but I don't think she wants that much. So I'm gonna wash off the previous paint job's green here, like that. And there's Still a little bit of green in there. It's hard when you don't want that underneath color to show. It's hard to do it. Yeah, that's really, really showing. So I'm gonna make it really, really big. And when my paint order comes in, I'm just gonna brush over the edges of that and tone it down a little bit. That's what I'm gonna do. And she may not mind a spot of green because it's kind of cool. Look how cool that is. Can you see that? Try it. Let me bring the light over here. Maybe it'll help. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'm sorry to be in the camera. It's just hard to see what you guys are seeing. So that's a very cool look too. So let me swing it back around here. Well, I'll just do it down here. Let me get my rag wet again. That friction tends to dry your rag out pretty quickly. Okay, so let's just work on a spot here, maybe along this edge. So I want it to be a little different. Okay. Okay, right like that. Very cool. So the top was green, the bottom was a yellowish color. So you can kind of see that yellowish color coming through. How do I keep my nails looking great? Well, I don't know. I just got them for when we went on vacation, and I enjoyed having nails, so I left them on. Typically when we're doing houses and we're getting into primer and stuff, they don't look very good, but this stuff, the chalk paint doesn't hurt your nails at all. So that's good. Okay, so so let me rub this side right here. Yeah, I never get to have pretty nails, so it's kind of fun. All right. You guys, doing this is so much fun. If you just have a piece that you think you're gonna put in the yard sale, why not paint it and keep it? You know, it totally changes the look of a piece. Could you imagine how this piece looked all real dark and dingy? And now look how happy and interesting it is. Isn't that pretty? It's so, so pretty. So it's very fun to do your furniture and to say, wow, I did that. And look how easy. You just paint it. You just paint it. If you guys have any questions, post them here or message me, of course. Oh, whoops, you can't see what I'm doing there. Message me. There you go. I do love this color, this cheesecake color. It was always my favorite. Now I've kind of gone a little whiter. I'm kind of liking that vanilla frosting, just to be a little bit whiter. But they're all really nice. Let's see. I should show you. Wow, I'm gonna do some dry brushing on the next piece. I have 3 pieces to get done today, so I'll be showing you those. The one, I'm so nervous about it. One, I'm just plain painting white. It's not gonna be too exciting. I've already shown you, I had some bleed through on it, so I showed you how I dealt with that last night, or yesterday, I guess. So now, today I need to get it painted. So I might come on for a minute and just show you how the bleed through stuff worked out, in case you're curious. It's just however hard you want to rub, however you want it to be, you know? It's really up to you how distressed you make it. I always tend to do the less is more. I have always been less is more, because I can always do more later. If I take off too much, then I have to go back and add paint and fix it. And you know, when I'm doing it for myself, it doesn't matter. I just go and do how I like it. But when I'm doing it for a client, I'm a little more aware of not taking it too far. I know she wants it really distressed, so I don't think I'm going to be able to take this one too far. This is the same gal I did that last cream colored table for, that I showed you guys how to wax. It's the same gal, and she says, I like this one like it is, but I want the next one to be even more distressed. So I'm going to put the wax on a lot heavier. Okay. it's nice on a table like this when you have so many corners and, you know, any kind of raised designs or anything like that just gives you more to distress. Now there, I was even using my fingernail and it did just fine. Okay, so I didn't do anything on the front edge of that, so I think I'll come in here in a different spot. What happens, the reason I keep changing my rag is because the paint comes off and it kind of gums up on your rag. It gets thick and soft, so you lose the tooth of the tooth of the towel, the terry loops of the towel get filled with paint. That's what I'm trying to say. So you just keep moving your rag around so that you've got that little bit more scrub. There. That's fun when you get that breakthrough, isn't it? Isn't that cool? Yeah, very cool. I could make a great big streak of it. Like I said, I'm just going a little more careful. Then I'll send her some pictures and see if she likes that yellow showing through and a little bit of green or not. And then I'll have to adjust it all before I start the waxing because I don't want to wax anything in. If, let's say, I went ahead and waxed it and she loved it, and she didn't love it, I would use rubbing alcohol, you guys. Rubbing alcohol cuts the wax. So you don't want to sand it. That pushes the wax in deeper. And you don't want to use, well, for Country Chic Paint, they say don't use the mineral spirits. Again, that pushes it in. They recommend using rubbing alcohol, and that's what they say saves it. It gets rid of the wax and saves the piece, and then you can layer on whatever you want and then re-wax. Okay? All right, I need to do a little bit up here again. Again, you're going to see that little bit of green because the green was the base coat of what was on there before I started. So there's the green. I'm going to break down the green that was originally the piece. Okay. And then I've broken down to the green. Now I want to break beyond the green and go a little farther. Trying to get my fingernail in there to get the green, try to get the green off. Okay, all right. And then I'll be working on this. I've got to do the spindles and all of that, but I thought I would show you how I dug into the top. I was trying different ways of breaking down the top part. I'm not going to do it on this part because these edges are easy. When you're doing the edges, they're easy. You've got something to work on, but when you've got this big flat top, it's just, I don't know, it's just a little more awkward of a thing to do. So since it naturally cracked and peeled in two places, I was just trying to add more to it, like I said, and that's when I decided I'd come on here and show you guys what I was doing. Okay, let's do the top. I'm gonna break through the top here. So if you've ever been afraid of chalk-based paints, don't be. The idea is to make it easier for you, not harder. Easier to do more creative things with, and that's why we all love any chalk-based paint. It doesn't matter. Go more for the colors that you love. You can mix brands. Honestly, I see people getting them from even like the hobby stores, and I think Walmart carries it. You know, there is a difference in the cheaper than the nicer, but in the end, it still does the same job. I just love ours. Of course, I would say that, but I really do. And there is a difference. So if you start with the cheaper or you have some already, use it up, give it a try, see how you feel about it, and then maybe try a nicer chalk paint, and then you compare for yourself, and then you'll see that it's just heavier bodied, you'll get more coverage. I just think you'll, in the end, like it better. I'm getting crap all over over my table. Let me rinse my rag out real quick, okay? It's starting to get dry and I'm getting full of paint. Let me give it a quick rinse out. Paint in there, but not as much. It's hard to get paint off when your rag's full of paint. Okay, so I broke through and there's just that little bit of brown there. Okay, so let's do here on this edge. See how fast a fresh rag works? Okay, trying to see what you guys can see, because I can't see it. There. Okay. Okay. All right, so I think you guys are getting the idea. I should probably do a little breakthrough down here on this panel, a little more than what I did. Isn't that something? Isn't that just something? That is just so cool how that works. Okay. I'm going to do another little add-on here, just so it doesn't look too symmetrical with that. Just a little breakthrough, like that. Okay. All right. Now, let me flip it down and let's deal with this top, because the top was an issue for me this morning when I woke up. I thought, oh my gosh, it's peeling, which I've not had that happen. So I don't know what was on this table, but whatever it was, the paint did not like it. So, let's see if I can get in here and show you guys. I'm not sure. Let's see if I turn up the light a little brighter, maybe. Got all kinds of settings on this light, so who knows? It's crazy. You guys should see how strong this light is, but it's not helping you. Let me try and catch you at an angle, maybe. Now I just have a glare. All right, let me try and get this. Try and get this to where it's maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I don't think you can tell. There's just a really slight crackling happening in here. You can see this, of course, but it just lifted. So what I did was I took my putty knife and I came in and I chipped off like that. All of that. Oh, there, look, it's coming off even more. Okay. And then down here, let's see, can I get you down here? Oh, shoot. Try and get you there. You can barely see it. Down here, thought I had that all. So I'm going at it every which way so that I can get up underneath any chips that I see. So that's going to be pretty distressed here, I would say. So then I went and I was trying to figure out, okay, do I want to go at it with a putty knife and scrape free some more like this? But I didn't like the green. See that green I'm getting? And I didn't care for the sharp lines that I was getting, so I stopped. So now I'm literally gouging into the table a little bit. You can tell the difference in the paint line, and you tell I'm not getting too deep because it's still brown under there. So then I tried my sanding block, which really just got rid of my knife marks. And I'm not sure you guys can see knife marks or not. Try and get you closer, but there's a lot of knife marks around this. But when I sand it, the paint comes off just a little bit, and it takes those knife marks away. Okay, so there's that. And then let's try a wet rag. Let me get it wet again. Get a nice wet spot here. All right, so I'm gonna try a breakthrough just somewhere, wherever, with the wet rag. And you guys can see, turn it to where you can really see. So first thing we're gonna see is the green, because the top was green to start with. Okay, here comes the green. So now we're breaking off my paint, my cheesecake color, and we're getting down to the green. See that? Oh, you guys can't see that. I'm so sorry. There you go. Now you can see. Okay, so now I need to break through the green. To get to the rest of the tabletop. So that's why I tried chipping it off first, because I didn't want that green ring. I'm not sure you guys can see, but there is a definite green ring there. Yeah, now you can see the green. So when I tell you to put, if you come in the shop and I tell you, you know, if you want 2 colors, it's best to base coat with one and then wipe off if you want it subtle. That's what I'm talking about. And you don't have to wipe it like that much. You know, you can just wipe it however you want, really. Just as distressed as you want it to be. And then when you wipe over the entire piece, that kind of just cleans it all up. And she may like that little bit of green, so I'm gonna take some of it. That's a little bit too much. But so I'm going in with kind of with my fingernail, because I don't want to break down any more of my cream. I'm just trying to get rid of some of that green that was under there, in case she doesn't want that at all. With her house being grays, I can't imagine she's gonna want this green. So we'll have to see. If not, I'll have to paint back over it. And it is, again, it's perfectly smooth to the feel. There's no way I can show you guys that, but it is very, very smooth. And I'll just be able to paint right over it. There might be a hint of it, but I know she wants a distress, so it's not gonna matter. Not gonna matter at all. So there you go. I'm gonna continue working on it. And then I'm gonna send her some pictures. And then if she says, I like it like that, and once I get it all distressed, I will come back on and wax it with you guys. And if she wants it painted, I can't take it any farther. I'll have to put it away until the paint comes in. So we'll just have to see. I'll leave it up to her. So anyway, you guys, thanks for watching. I hope it maybe gave you guys a little bit of confidence in doing your own. Well, let me see. I was gonna work on some spindles. You wanna see how a spindle turns out? See how bright I have that light? It's crazy that you can't see. Let's see, here's a spindle up here. So let's just tear into a spindle. And I love doing all of the raised parts of the spindle. So again, it's gonna turn out with the more yellow paint around the edges, because that was the color of the table. It was kind of a yellow color. Okay, so see, you just wanna do, I mean, you can do any of it you want to. I thought this one would be a really fun one to do, like Tracy does on Tracy's Fancy, and look at all the areas of you could do something here, you could do something in here, you could do something down here inside of each, like, oh my gosh, this would be a table that she could do in her Whimsy University for sure. Like she could take forever on a table like this. There's so many places to do all of the different finishes. So it's a really great table to mess around with. If you ever see one on the side of the road, grab it. Because I know it's kind of an old school design. Whoops, I bumped my tripod. It's kind of an old school design, but it's actually very cool. Okay, and I can't see this, so I can't see what I'm getting. You guys can't either. But anyway, there's just a spindle. I probably would do something here. I'm kind of off to the side when you really look at the table. So I would probably do something like that, knowing she wants a lot. And then I'm gonna go down here on the feet and do the same corners as that. And the same little peak there in the center that we did up top. And on this side as well. Okay, and then I'm gonna do this edge right here. Just like we did on the top part of it. Okay, and then I'll probably burnish some. Can you see? Where are you? Yeah, probably gonna burnish some on the front side of this piece right here. Kind of like that. Oh, that's a good one. Kind of like that. Okay, and then I'm just gonna keep going, and I'm gonna flip it upright, and I'm gonna walk around and look at it and see what it needs. And then go from there. Just keep going. So I'm just gonna keep working on this one. It's gonna take a minute. I'm send her some pictures. I may come back on and show you how we wax it. So I'm gonna do, in case you miss me, we're gonna do a clear wax, which is just our Country Chic Paint calls it natural wax. It's just a clear, oh, and now my light's too bright for this. There. It's just a clear wax. Of course, my hands are wet, so you can't really tell, but there, put it on my, yeah, maybe you can see that, but it's just a clear wax. Feels like chapstick. You put it on, you put it on with a brush, like a nice dense brush like this. You rub it on, and then you use a rag to spread it around and to take it back off. So the idea of the wax is to get it off, not so much putting it on, is to try and get it off. It is conditioning your paint, your flat, chalky, imagine a piece of chalk, and how dry that would be, and then imagine it, okay, I always use this, it's like a paper towel and a piece of wax paper. The wax paper is just a little shinier, a little smoother, and the paper towel is very thirsty. That's what you're doing when you're waxing your piece, is taking it from a paper towel to wax paper. It kind of gives it that satiny feel. And then if you want to distress with wax, we have antiquing wax, and it's a hard paste, and I use a brush for that. I use a different brush. So my clear waxes go on with one brush, my dark waxes go on another. These wax brushes have been washed with soapy water, and so they're all soft and ready to go. But there's always still just a little bit left on there. So I don't like to tackle a clear coat with a antique waxed brush, because some might come off. So I like to use the clear brush with the clear wax. Just saying. And then one more thing, if you would happen to come in the shop and get a wax and you want to get the dark or the antiquing wax, it forms a skin. So like when I rub on this, nothing much comes off of my finger. I'm rubbing pretty decent, not getting much, okay? So there's a skin that forms. I always use a paper towel. So let me see if I can show you here. So I break the skin with a paper towel, and then it peels up, okay? The skin naturally protects the wax that's underneath to keep the whole entire jar from drying out, so it's actually an okay thing because you don't lose all of your wax. But so you peel the skin off, just whatever area you need, and then look, you really get it. So then when you use it again, you'll have to do the same thing. I think each time, even though it's got a nice tight lid, it still does that. So it's just part of the beauty of the beast, I guess. So anyway, wouldn't be without it. It makes all the difference in the world in some of these pieces, but do want you to be aware of that. So, all right, that's all I have. So I'm gonna get to work and get to finishing this piece up so I can get some pictures to send to my client. And then, like I said, I'll either leave it up here and we'll do some waxing, or I'll have to put it in the garage and wait for the paint to arrive. So have a good day. Thanks for watching. As soon as I get my nerve up and get this finished, I'll go out and start in the garage. This lady brought a table to me. She wants it very, very distressed. I'm a little more, I don't know. I have a hard time doing things messy. So, and that is I need to get messier and get more comfortable being messy. So she wants it in turquoises, and the table is rough, but she wants that wood to show through. So I'm having I don't want to prime it. So I think I'm going to use hemp oil over the wood. And then I think I'm just going to start troweling on the paint. And I think I'm going to use a putty knife to get it on. I think I've been thinking it through. So yeah, if you see me back on later, I might be doing that table, and it might be something to see. And just know my nerves will be like, because I'm nervous. So, all right, you guys, have a good day. Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.